Hello, I'm Nancy Antonucci, or known as Nooch. So welcome. I've been a teacher for about 35 years, and I have one spread that I have just used over and over again because it just helps students really get a sense of the backbone of tarot, which are the four elements: earth, air, water, and fire, our everyday magic. The major arcana are the divine forces, the bigger forces, the things that we need to learn on a really huge spiritual level, or the energy that we would need that way. But the minor arcana are based on the four elements. There's a correspondence, and you as a reader will need to decide how you will create the correspondence and what direction it belongs to. I'm going to give you really the one that is the most commonplace, a little bit more of the traditional. So the swords represent power. They represent our mind, the way we communicate, our chi. I kind of see the swords as really the swords of King Arthur. When King Arthur pulled the sword out of the rock, he instantly felt his responsibility, his identity, and his power. He didn't know what to do with any three of them. He needed Merlin to help him with that for years, I might add. But still, that to me really helps that whole idea of the swords being, your responsibility, your power, how you, influence, how you change things. In the air, in the east, everything comes up. Uh, the sun comes up in the east. Everything starts with one thought. Then we go to the south, which is the wands or rods or staves. You could see those as just wood that burns, so it's fire. And the south is the heat, the desert. The wands can often denote the way that you express yourself in the world, your creativity, your passion, your sexuality, your sensuality. It's your fire. And to me, creativity is really anything where any time, that space of time where you have kind of, you lose time. You lose all sense of linear time. And all of you've experienced that one way or the other by doing something you really love doing, maybe talking to a friend, and all of a sudden 3 hours are gone or gone by, or you're creating something and it's like, what? I'm in the wee hours of the night already. So it's whatever allows you to kind of bump out of linear time and go into, I call sacred space, to me is creativity or creative space. Then we go to the west, and the west is water, the ocean, the womb, the beginning. And that's about our emotions, our vision, and that is the cup. The cup holds the water. It's really all forms of water as well, not just the loving emotion. It's all emotions. So the cup is really about holding the water in all form. Like when you're really upset or mad at someone, it's steam. When you're really hurt or traumatized, it's ice. When you can just allow emotion to flow through you without feeling like you react to it, but rather respond, then it's water in its regular form. Or if it becomes fog or mist, something we can't see very clearly. So water, west. And then north is the pentacle, the five-pointed pentacle, or for some of you, your cards would say coins, crystals, shields. But the five-pointed star really is our body. The body is the form of our spirit. It's the form or boundaries or resources. And from my purposes, and after reading my own definition as a reader, is the five natural resources in our life are time, energy, focus, money, and health. And if any one of those is off, throws the other four off. So it's how do you stabilize? How do you keep things going smoothly? How do you take care of your body? How do you take care of your well-being or your savings account or even just your energy? All four directions have court cards. They all have 4 court cards per suit. And those are the humans in our life. These are the people that we will interact with in our lives. These are also our ancestors, people that we will have never met, but they were humans and they are in us. But they are also the different roles that we play, you know. So I would really highly recommend, if you haven't gotten my book, Psychic Tarot, How to Use Your Natural Abilities to Read the Cards. This is all explained in way more depth in the book. So I would really highly recommend that book. Seriously. I mean, that came out of 35 years of teaching. So I got some really good little gems in there for you. So I find the court cards to be their own family. And then the major arcana are the 22, the Fool, and then 21 cards that are the natural major forces of change and power in our lives. The reasons our spirits incarnated is for the major arcana to really, how can we integrate our love to even a higher level? So what you're going to do is go through your deck and separate them, and I'll show you the diagram. They don't have to be chronological, but you're going to put all the swords in one pile, all the wands, except for the court cards. In their piles, the court cards are going to get their own little pile and the major arcana theirs. So I'll show you the diagram. There you go. So the swords are to your east or to your right. And I'll just leave that up there for a while and give you just about 5 minutes to just kind of put your cards in this order. And they're all going to be face down. I'll give you a few more minutes. And all you need to do really is count. There should be 16 court cards. Usually, if you can count just the court cards, you know if anything else was thrown off. But all right. So I'm just going to keep going. Again, you can always just stop the video and if you need more time. But for those of us that don't, I want you to close your eyes. And just for a minute or two, really allow yourself to be in the room you're sitting in right now. You're not in the future. You're not in the past. You are here in your body. And your body can only be here. That is its greatest gift to us. So allow your breath to become slower and lower, relaxing your eyes, your shoulders, your ribs, sending your breath down lower and slower. And imagine, if you can, that by your feet starts to appear a path, a road that may be a country road or a dirt road or a marble path, whatever feels right for you as you look down at your feet and you see this path appear to you and you start to walk on this path and you feel light and loose as you walk. You are the only one here, with the exception of a few animals that may show up, birds or a small dog. And as you walk and breathe, and in your mind's eye, start to see the scenery on either side of you fill out, become very real. And up ahead, you will see a forest or trees of some sort. And the path goes right through, inviting you to come. And see yourself walking on this path and feeling either the sun or the starshine on you as you come closer to this path that goes into the forest. And you feel the shade or the darkness or the way the moon is falling on the tree, the leaves, as you enter the forest. And off to your left, you will see a path that veers off of this main one. Take that. And this one leads you straight to the altar. This altar was created when your soul was created. This is your forest. No one else can enter here. Nothing else can enter here. And on the altar, strangely enough, is your deck of cards laid out in the design that you had put them in your three-dimensional form. So take your place and stand by the altar facing your cards. And if you can, just strike a pose like the magician, just putting your hand up, right arm, hand all the way up, your left hand down, and feel the energy that you draw between earth and sky. You being the bridge, you connecting and being connected. And in your mind's eye, see yourself standing to what feels like the east point, facing outward. And put out your hand and call the sword that was created when your soul was created, your sword of truth, of discrimination, of logic, of mind, of clear thought. And just wait until it comes to your hand, and it may change its shape or form for you. So just hold on to it, feel your truth, feel clear thought and a serene mind until the sword grounds to one form, one image to you, one weight. And feel that. Feel the sword of truth, of power. And bring that back to the altar, put it on the east point of the altar table, and then pick up your sword pile of cards, the one that was on your right. Without looking at the pictures, you're going to just shuffle the deck until you can find or feel the card that most felt like the sword you just held, the power of it. And just find that card. Don't look at the image, just put it on top of the pile and then put the pile back down in the spread. Now go to what feels like the southern point and face out and feel the heat of the sun, the reptiles, the bats. And feel your passion grow in your body. And put your hand out and call for your wand to come to you, the wand that was created when your soul was created. And as you feel that wand, see images or feel your potential, your ability to be who you need to be in this lifetime with ease and with grace, with the way a fire dances. And go back to the altar. Put your wand on the southern point of the altar. Pick up your pile of wands, of the cards, and just shuffle through them face down until you find the one that feels like that wand. And just put it face down on the top without looking. Now go to the west point of your altar and face out. And just feel an ocean spray. Hear the roar of waves of the infinite, of where life began. And put your hand out and call for the cup or grail that was created when your soul was created. Your ability to love, to feel, to imagine. And take the cup. Again, it may change shape for a while. Just wait until it is one solid grail for you. And bring that to the west point of your altar. Pick up your cards and shuffle until you find the one card that felt like that grail that you just held, that holds the infinite power of an ocean. And just put that on top and put the pile down. Now go to the north point of the altar facing out and feel mountains, trees, earth, canyons. And put out your hand and call for your pentacle or crystal to come to you, the one that was incarnated when you were incarnated. Just take that into your hands. You might even find a place in your body that would want that kind of earth healing immediately. If not, just hold it. And then go back to the altar and pick up your pile of pentacles and shuffle through until you can find one that feels like that crystal or pentacle. Now all four tools are on the altar, and there has been a card chosen for each one that we will look at a little later. But for now, close your eyes as you stand at the altar and think of the people or person that has really showed you how to love yourself, good, bad, or ugly. Especially one lately who has been the greatest influence for you lately, whether they are alive or have passed. Several might come to mind, which is all right. You don't have to zero in on one person. But just open your heart. Who has been a beautiful influence for you? And just go to your court cards, the pile of court cards, and shuffle that until you feel the one that resonates with the person or people that you were thinking of. And eventually just pull one card and put that on top and replace the pile. And then as you stand at the altar, you're very aware of all around the altar 22 bright lights, possibly even different colors of lights that will appear or beam. And one beam in particular, one light, one spirit guide out of the major arcana is in particular your overseer or guide or spiritual ally or friend, however you see that. And they stand behind you, and all the other beams of light dissipate or disappear. That you feel this beautiful power and presence behind you. They who have your back. And pull up your major arcana pile and shuffle until you find the one that feels like that energy behind you. And then put that on the top of the pile and replace, put on the back in the spread. And again, the spread will all now have the top card face down. So in your mind's eye, close your eyes and see all of these beautiful tools on your altar, and you can keep them here or you can send them back into the ether. Only you will ever know where this altar is. Only you can ever be here. This is part of your soul. And whenever you need to come here, all you need to do is imagine that you know exactly where it is. But for now, take the path back, the little path that will slowly bring you to the bigger path. And you feel light and long and loose as you walk out of the forest, out into the open, and either the sun or the moon is above you. And just imagine yourself walking back to your three-dimensional self. And just breathe. And come back. Just slowly open your eyes and just get used to the colors in your room. Don't focus in on anything. I call them just the cat eyes. Just let yourself get used to being in this room and this reality. And then take your time. And what you'll do then is go one by one. So let's just walk through this, but you can give this way more time. Is go to your swords card and remember the visualization of the power and communication. And this card will tell you kind of what you need to know about the way you're communicating or the way your power is, or even just the state of mind that you have lately. So go ahead and flip the top card over. And if you're new to tarot, I would say don't do reverse cards. Just get used to seeing the cards upright and just let that image talk to you. So first of all, get through your judgment of it, which is, uh-oh, this doesn't look good, or that's not the card I wanted, or la la, blah, 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 blah. Just work through those things. We all have judgments. We do them. We judge people all the time. Why would we not judge cards? So just get through it until you can kind of allow that card to really give you a message. Let it connect to you. Don't look up the meanings. Don't worry about what you think the meaning of it is. Let this image speak directly to you. Just for a minute. What's its message to you about the way you communicate your power? No judging, no blaming, no shaming. That's the lovely thing about getting information through divination is use what you can use, let go what you can't manage or understand or want to deal with, really. You don't want to do that for too long. You do want to start dealing with things if you're really going to open your heart and soul and mind to that. But for now, we're learning. So go to the southern, the wands, and this was your creativity, your passion, your potential. So go ahead and flip that top card over. What is it saying about your passion, your creativity? And you don't always have to go with the very first idea either. If it's like, say, the Five of Wands and they're fighting each other, that might be the first thought. But if you allow the message to come, it's like, wow, I think there's ideas that are battling. Like I'm trying to decide which idea is the best idea or what choice I have. So again, if you could just allow that image to really just absorb it long enough to see what it's actually saying to you in this moment. Then go to the cups, your emotional well-being, the way that you love, the way that you allow others to love you, your vision of life. And go ahead and flip that card over to see what your heart would like for you to know, what it's experiencing. And try not to be too logical. Try to stay open, almost like a child's mind or an innocent's mind. It's just, how does that energy feel? Is that true? Do I understand this? And then go to your pentacles. And the pentacles was the mountains, earth, healing, resources, the way that you actually are in your three-dimensional form and how you're using that. And go ahead and flip the top card to see what your body or your boundaries are trying to tell you. Then go to the court cards and think about the people that have influenced you, especially lately, in a loving way, in very beneficial ways. And go ahead and flip the card. This one tends to be a little trickier. I think the court cards tend to be tricky for all of us because we're too close to the trees to see, what's that saying? I'm too close to the forest to see the trees. So it's like they're almost too much of a reflection of each of us. It's easy to project on humans. So just take a moment and just let that court card talk to you about maybe it's energy, maybe more its essence than a particular individual. But somebody might actually come to mind instantly when you see the card. And then last but not least, the major arcana, and that of all the major arcanas that showed up in beams of light around you, it is the one that is guiding you. It is the one that is sure to be with you. So go ahead, flip that card and see who that is. And believe it or not, there's no bad ones. Every one of them has their own protection and strength. So there you have it. This is the essence spread. And I just think it's a lovely one to do at least once a year for yourself. But if you're in a very confusing time in your life where you feel very complicated, this is actually a really lovely spread as well to kind of go, okay, as a magician at my altar, which elements do I need to work better with? Or what humans do I need more of? Or what divine ally can really help me? So I hope this helps you, and I will see you the next time. Thanks.